finally time for Sam Roberts Show today. I know, it's been like 22 hours since the last one was on. You've just been sitting there itching. Oh, I need more. When's it going to be on again? When am I going to get more? Well, don't worry. I'm here to stop your itching. Like a good genital wart cream, Sam Roberts is here to present Sam Roberts Show. We are live as we are every day right here on OB Radio. You can call up 866-969-1969. You can tweet along with the show. Photos of everything as it's happening going up at SR Show SXM on Twitter. That's SR Show SXM on Twitter. Paul's been doing a great job. He takes little video clips every now and then. Photos of everything, links to what we're talking about. It's a full multimedia experience. It's amazing. I'm really taking advantage of the fact that this show is being done in 2015 by using technology that's only been around since 2012. Only here on Sam Roberts Show. It's going to be a great show. Jackie Miranne is coming in. We know Jackie Miranne. She's a regular now on the show. She puts her feet up on comedians' laps. Put her feet up on X-Pac's lap, Jim Norton's lap. Of course, if you were following along on Twitter at NotSam or at SR Show SXM on Twitter, you know as well. Jackie Cruz is going to be here. Another very attractive woman. Jackie Cruz plays Flocka on Orange is the New Black. I think after Flocka, I've talked to pretty much everybody on that show at one point or another. But I'll be talking to Flocka from Orange is the New Black later on this morning. Again, if you want to get involved with the show, call up now. 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969. You remember past couple days, really, we've been talking about that moose clip that I kept watching and watching. I got another clip. I keep watching it. It's not animal related. I decided going into today's show, I wanted to go animal free. I'm sick of talking about animals. I feel like all week, all I've been talking about is what animals I'm afraid of or what animals are getting molested or zoos or whatever. I'm done talking about animals. So I'm going to talk about human beings and people. President Obama, we all heard Mark Maron's story. I heard on Opie show this morning. It was amazing to hear his firsthand experience of what it's like to actually have him in the building. I believe Paul is working on getting Obama for this show. I heard him on the phone this morning. He was calling just the general line for the White House. He was calling the desk where people call to take a tour. You know, the tourist number, the one that's just on the website. If you want to take a tour of the White House, call this number. Paul called that number and asked to be connected to the president. I don't think he quite got through to the president, but he did get somewhere, and he's going to keep working on that. So hopefully we'll be able to tent off this studio and bring Obama in here. The first thing I talked to him about is what happened yesterday. So it's Pride Month. I hope everybody's being very prideful of themselves and of the LGBT community. Never before, I don't think, has Pride Month been so important, especially for the trans people. Trans is very much on the public conscious right now. And I think it's a good time. It's a good time to be trans in America. It hasn't always been. It's a lot of times been very, very difficult. But right now it's a good time to be trans, a lot in part to the amount of exposure that people like Caitlyn Jenner have brought it. But also, you're talking about Orange is the New Black. That Laverne Cox was probably the first person to really kind of show life as a trans person without it being a freak show, like she just happened to be. This is an actress who is a trans actress, not, oh my God, you got to see this thing. It's a man in a dress, which is a good place to be. So Obama, he invited members of the LGBT community up to LGBTQ. I forgot. I think the Q might stand for genderqueer. That's how Paul classifies himself. I still don't understand it, but I'm willing to understand it. I don't judge it. He had members of the LGBTQ community up in the White House, and he was doing this speech, and he was just kind of welcoming. It was welcoming them for Pride Month and being supportive and everything. And there was a heckler inside the White House who didn't like what Obama's done for immigrants. Obama and his administration have a policy where illegal immigrants get deported. And this trans woman, it was a trans woman who was heckling Obama. Now, this trans woman, I would think, walking in to the White House, and if this was her plan, she says this was not her plan, but I don't think that you can spur the moment, shout things at the president. If you're going to shout things at the president at a speech in the White House, you're in a room in the White House. There's not very many people in there. It's a handful, a smattering of people, and you're one of them. And you're going to start shouting things at the president. I don't think that can happen spur of the moment. That's something that this woman knew, at least in some way, shape, or form, she was capable of. I would think going in, this woman would have every reason to believe she had everything under control. She's a trans woman, okay? Caitlyn Jenner is getting an award from ESPN just for being trans because it's courageous. So she's got the trans thing. She's got the immigrant thing. After Donald Trump fucked it up and decided to run his mouth, now we all feel very sympathetic to the immigration community. Is that what they're called? The immigrant community. You know, that's another sympathetic thing that she's got going for her. And she's protesting the president. As a civilian, it's always good to see somebody protest the president. You want your leaders questioned all the time. Anytime somebody is questioning the leader of the free world, I say it's a good thing. Hopefully he's got some answers. If he is good enough to be the leader of the free world, he should have some answers. So I never mind it when the president gets shit upon or gets criticized or gets heckled. So you'd think going into this thing, this woman, along with people who are as well as her in the LGBT community, would be supported and said, you know what? I'm glad that woman is speaking up for us. Here's how it went down.
Told you that the civil rights of LGBT Americans is... Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, you know what?
They got to figure out the voice on the trans people. I want Caitlyn Jenner, for instance, looks gorgeous. She looks like a woman. Laverne Cox is a gorgeous woman, I think. They figured out, but that voice, President Obama, President Obama. Like, how are you supposed to gain any sympathy or fight for any cause whatsoever if that's the voice coming out of your face? And I know, coming from me, that's kind of ironic, but still. If you want to get in on this, 866-969-1969 is the phone number. Again, 866-969-1969. Let's listen to the heckler.
Told you that the civil rights of LGBT Americans is... Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, you know what? No. I like this. I feel like Obama's starting to get tough. No. President Obama! President Obama! First of all, I'm the president, not a resident. President Obama! You'll have your time later. I like him. He's starting to go, no. No. It's good. No. Hey. Yeah, listen. You're in my house. And you don't start. No. Come on. It's not, you know what? It's not respectful when you get invited to somebody.
I hate that. He's gotten all this credit. Like the quote is, you're in my house. And I'm watching that going, yeah. Obama getting up there and saying, no. You're in my house now, and laying down the law, being a fucking alpha male. I want a president who's an alpha, not a corny dad. He goes, you're in my house. Everybody goes, woo! And then he goes, and you know, it's not polite to interrupt people when you're in their house. And what you should be doing is, no, don't go back into dad mode. Don't go back into nerdy dad mode. You had me for a second.
You're not gonna get a good response from me by interrupting me like this. No, shame on you. You shouldn't be doing this.
Listen to that.
Can we escort this person out?
How do you fuck up a protest so bad that you lose the crowd? You're supposed to be, when you're protesting, a representative of the people who's not being represented properly. The protester protesting the president, who's a trans immigrant woman, is getting booed as the rest of the LGBTQ crowd chants Obama's name. You talk about your all-time backfires. You have got to feel so foolish as a protester if you go in there and you lose the crowd on that level. Oh, that's embarrassing. Let's go to the phones, 866-969-1969. We go to Jason. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, Sam. Pleasure to talk to you again. I think Obama's getting ready to become a comedian. First of all, he's dealing with hecklers there, so he's getting that under his belt. He's been on Mark Maron, and he's dropping N-bombs. I think the guy's getting ready to go on tour after his presidency's up.
Maybe that's what we're seeing, hints. Because like I said, when he goes, you're in my house, I'm like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. You're in my house. But when he starts acting like, no, and you got to be polite when you're doing this, then I hear this guy.
Who can do a wild rumpus? That's some good rumpusing.
That's the guy I hear when he's explaining why it's not polite to interrupt people. You really shouldn't be doing that. Let's go to Susie in Philly. What's going on, Susie?
How you doing, Sam?
Good.
I just want to say I used to hate you, but I like you now.
I mean, again, you don't have to qualify these compliments. I don't understand why everybody feels the need to.
I just wanted to correct you on the Q in LGBTQ.
Correct me.
The actual acronym is LGBTQIA, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning, intersex, and allies.
Okay. Okay, so allies, why do they need to include... It's like, why do they need to just add letters to it? Of course, you don't... It's a group that supports the following things. Like, anybody in the group would be an ally. Oh my... So why have the group at all? Why don't you just call this group P, and it stands for people, and that's just all people?
Well, you have a good point.
Yeah. If you're just going to include everybody, and you have to just keep coming up, I don't know, queer, questioning, intersex, allies.
Which is the politically correct way of saying hermaphrodite now. That's what intersex is.
Okay, so if you're intersex, so like Jamie Lee Curtis is maybe intersex.
Correct.
I understand.
Rumored.
Okay. And that makes me an A, ally.
Yes, you are a straight ally.
That's right. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And I thank you for that.
Don't you forget it, Susie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Let's go to CJ. What's going on, CJ?
Hey, Sam. You just you were wondering about the voice, and like if for people that are born males,
yeah,
and and they're transitioning to female, it's a lot of work for them because they actually have to train their voice to sound female. Whereas people that were born female and identify as male and transitioning, when they start taking testosterone, their voice will actually lower. And so for the trans women, it's a lot of work for them to sound female.
How do you know all this,
Brett?
I'm pretty well versed in it, I guess.
Wow. So when you start taking estrogen, your voice gets deeper?
No, when you start taking estrogen, you got to get vocal training in order to sound.
Oh, I see. So when
testosterone is a female, born female, start taking testosterone to transition to male, the voice will lower.
So what you're saying is the men who become women, for them it's a lot more difficult to get their voice changed because that doesn't happen with estrogen.
Exactly.
Ah, that's very, very interesting. Thank you, CJ. Let's go to Tat. Tat, are you there? 403?
No, Jay.
What's your name?
My name is Jay. Am I on the air?
Okay. This looks like, yes, you are on the air. My name's Sam Robertson. You're on my show.
Hey, Sam.
Paul wrote
Tat. No, my name is Jay.
Okay.
From Canada.
Okay. Jay doesn't even sound like Tat. Paul, all Jay wants to do is call this show, talk about the LGBTQIA community, and hear Sam Roberts say his name. And all you're doing is writing down the word Tat as if anybody would be named Tat. It makes no sense, and it's disrespectful to the listeners. Sorry, Tat. Go on.
Nice. Actually, I really enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Enjoyed whether you're actually talking by yourself into the microphone or with a guest, Nicole, whoever. I love hearing you do your show. Now, I know taking callers, I know what I'm doing is actually against what I am actually calling. Taking callers is part of the program. I like hearing some callers, but sometimes I almost feel like you take too many calls because I really enjoy just hear you, Sam Roberts, doing your show.
Well, I appreciate that, Tat, but what I want people to know is I'm not in here talking to myself. I'm in here talking to you all the way out there in Canada. I'm just sitting in your truck with you or wherever you are.
Yeah, I'm in my car. I'm in my car right now. But yeah, no, that's I enjoy, I love it. but you had me totally mesmerized on the radio, listening to about the whole Obama thing, and then you went to some banana.
Well,
you were talking about,
you're right. We'll meet thank you, Jay. We'll meet halfway. Paul, when you're screening calls, no more bananas on the phone, okay? I know what I'm doing here. I would like to talk to some people, but if a banana calls, I don't want to be involved with them whatsoever. Sam Roberts Show is about me, my opinions, what's going on, and whoever I choose to talk to. And I'm telling you right now, I don't want to talk to any bananas. Let's go to Brett. What's going on, Brett?
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
Good, pal.
Good, and congratulations on the show.
Thanks.
So I'm a bit overdue with this call. I've been meaning to call you about this for probably about a month now, but on Opie and Jimmy, you guys were talking about the edge from the documentary Might Get Loud and how simple his guitar chord progression on Elevation was.
Okay.
And you had made a point of, when you based on all the effects that he uses, you had brought up, I thought was a valid question, how is that any different than someone using auto-tune?
Right.
And there actually is a difference. With a guitar processor, yeah, you can do a lot of things like distortion, reverb, and delay. The thing about it is you still need to know how to play it. You need to know chords at the very basic skill. With auto-tune, all you have to do is talk. And
you've been sitting on this. You've been sitting on this for a long time, haven't you?
I really have. I was just telling that. It's not really an attack. I just kind of wanted to kind of open that door for you just a little bit, and just to tell you, there actually is a difference. The guitar playing takes slightly a little bit more talent than just talking into a microphone and then automating it to a specific chord.
All right, I appreciate that. I'm going to look into that because I'll have a whole thing about that. Maybe get some musicians in here because I would love to know what the real difference is between heavily affecting a guitar and autotune. But I don't want to do that today. The protester we were just talking about, the Obama protester, Genesit Gutierrez was her name, and the reason, shortly after the incident, an immigration group claimed that the protester was an undocumented immigrant. If you're an undocumented immigrant, maybe don't draw attention to yourself. Don't go to the president's house and start screaming. Don't go to the president's house as he's making a speech in front of a few people and start yelling about how you're not being treated fairly. If you're an undocumented immigrant, just try to go about your business unnoticed, because you know what people want to do? Throw you out of the fucking country. It's not a nice thing to do. It's not a great thing, but it's the reality of the situation. So one way, if you don't like the fact that you're thrown out of the country because you're illegal or you're undocumented, undocumented. If you don't like the idea that you're thrown out of the country because you're undocumented, don't tell the president about it. Don't let the president know who you are. I would say, drive the speed limit. Try to avoid police officers altogether. But definitely don't show up at the White House and say, Obama, President Obama, President Obama. Like, why, what good does that attention bring to you? So, she's an undocumented immigrant named Genesit Gutierrez. She's transgender. According to a press release, she was a founding member of Familia TQLM, which was established to advocate for LGBTQ immigrants, who the group says are often excluded in the immigration debate. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this, but it seems like the immigration debate is already so cloudy and already so polarizing. People have one side or the other on this immigration debate. Everybody knows where they stand on it. It's candidates run strictly on immigration. Donald Trump is in trouble because of his opinion on immigration. Everything that's going on with immigration, I gotta imagine that we don't need to overcomplicate things. The people outside of the LGBTQIA community are not being represented as far as immigrants go. So until we figure immigration out, let's not start nitpicking, And what happens when you nitpick is you show up, you get Obama all fired up as he's doing his speech, then he falls back into dad mode, and then you get booed.
I told you that the civil rights of LGBT Americans is... Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, you know what? No. Hey. Yeah, listen. You're in my house. It's not. You know what? It's not respectful when you get invited to somebody. You're not gonna get a good response from me by interrupting me like this. No, shame on you. You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Can we escort this person out?
I also hate that if you're the president, you can get a crowd behind you so easily. I feel like for me to get up on a stage and get people to start chanting, Sam Roberts, Sam Roberts, Sam Roberts, I'd have to start saying things that are so compelling and so amazing and so original that you have all these people just itching to get behind me. And all Obama has to do is, if you interrupt me like that, you're not going to get very far with me. I'll tell you that right now. If there's one thing I can teach you, it's to mind your P's and Q's and to wait your turn. That's all. There's no way anybody else could get up there and do that. But apparently Obama's got these people. Matthew in California, you're on Sam Roberts' show.
Hey, Sam.
How you doing?
Guys like to the show. Hey,
Thanks.
I just wanted to say, if Obama would speak that way to Putin, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, and not the second part, the first part, where he goes, no, you're in my house. That's where he needs to stop it. And that's where, yeah, you're right. He doesn't just need to talk to people who are...
His past, and then, he's hard on the immigrant, undocumented immigrant that's a transgender. He's
Right.
hard on that person.
Right, so one funny-sounding, transgender, undocumented immigrant in his house, he can start to be a tough guy with. If he could be that half a tough guy with world leaders, are you kidding me? You know how much we could get done? That's why I like Donald Trump so much. He goes in, and he doesn't give a fuck. He just shits on people. That's what he does. He's made a living doing it for so long. Chris in Connecticut, welcome to Sam Roberts' show.
Hey, Sam, how you doing, man? I've been listening to you for a long time, dude, since you started with O&A. I'm a big fan.
Thanks, buddy.
Before I get to my question with you, I really got to ask you, when were you born? Like, what's your birthday?
September 6th.
I think I was born on the same day, same year as you, which is fucking bizarre. Because every year listening to you, it comes to your birthday in September, and I'm like, holy shit, I think this guy's the fucking same age as me. Weird.
It's September 6th, 1983.
I got September 2nd, man. So
I hate to tell you this. September 6th is the day, almost the second. I mean, it will be celebrated like Christmas one day. So you got a birthday close by, but it's not quite that magical day when Sam Roberts was presented to this world.
Yeah, it's just weird because every year, man, But anyways, I got to know how you feel about that flag thing that's going on because, I mean, as the last broadcaster, free speech has got to be a big deal to you. So that's just the only question I have. You might have already said it, but
no, I haven't really. I mean, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. So many people have been talking about the Confederate flag that I haven't really been diving into it because I feel like Opie and Ron and everybody that other people listen to have been talking about it so much, and I can't say I'm passionate about it. I get why people don't want it around. I think that the Confederate flag should not be used for government purposes. Like, I don't think there's any reason to hang a Confederate flag from a state capitol, for instance. But to start banning it, there's no reason why Amazon.com should not sell Confederate flags. There's no reason why Amazon.com should not sell fucking swastika armbands. Because what difference, it can offend people, but it's not weaponry. It's not something so damaging to anybody. If somebody wants to walk around with a swastika armband on, if somebody wants to walk around waving a Confederate flag, then they should be able to walk around waving a Confederate flag. They should be able to go on eBay and bid on a flag. If a single store says, it's my private business, I choose not to sell Confederate flags. Okay, wow. First of all, you better not be a fucking flag store. Because if you're a flag store, that's a bullshit choice to make. But if you're fucking Staples, or your Office Depot, and you decide, well, I'm not selling Confederate flags, that's cool. You're a person with a chain of stores. You don't have to sell Confederate flags. But if you're providing a service like eBay or Amazon, where people go on and they themselves sell to other people. On Amazon, it's not just Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is selling stuff. Okay, it's
I can start a store on Amazon and theoretically sell whatever I want. I can go on eBay and theoretically sell whatever I want. Individuals should be allowed to sell anything on those websites, because if not, then why are you creating a place where people can do that? If you go to Etsy and you want to make arts and crafts out of Confederate flags, go ahead and do that. A person should be allowed to own, sell, wave, hang up a Confederate flag all they want. Does a government need... There should be no laws on the books about Confederate flags. It should not be banned. It should not be illegal. It makes no sense. There's no reason to start that chain, because then it just starts to, well, you know what? You know what other flag I don't like? You know, the French flag hasn't been really good to us either. We really should go back to freedom fries. I thought freedom fries was stupid. They're French fries. Call them French fries, or don't eat them. Don't rename them to make yourself feel better. And, you know, would I wave around the stars and bars? No, I'm not going to paint the general, I'm not going to turn my Jeep Wrangler into a General Lee. But if somebody wants to wave a Confederate flag, they can. If somebody wants to wear a Klan robe, they can, and they should be able to. But if people don't want that waving in front of their government capital, then no, they shouldn't. So that's what I think about the Confederate flag. Should it be in front of government buildings? No, it definitely should not be. It is a symbol of, you know, regardless of how you want to argue it, the general consensus of the Confederate flag is a symbol of the South during the Civil War. The South was fighting for slavery, and that's what it is. Like, there's no reason to go. People try to get so deep into it and say, well, if that's not good, then this isn't good, and blah, blah, blah. Don't put it in front of government buildings, because if anything, it's the flag of an enemy to the North, and the North is the one that won. So the North became the whole country. Now, if a person wants to have a Confederate flag, if a person wants to sell an American flag, be it on Amazon or eBay or whatever, more power to you. That's the point of living in America. You should be able to do that. I should be allowed not to buy one. You should be allowed to sell one. That's the world we live in. John, you're on Sam Roberts' show.
Hey, thank you, Sam. I'm thinking about the whole idea with the Muslims being so against, a cartoon of Muhammad,
right?
And they're getting so upset over this cartoon of Muhammad. Isn't it the same principle as people getting upset over a Confederate flag?
Yeah, I think. I would hope that nobody is gonna kill people over waving a Confederate flag. But yeah, if you start getting groups now, well, no, I think it is a solid argument, because people who are killing others for drawing pictures of Muhammad are doing so because they think it's hateful and it's disrespectful to their religion. So, by your argument, yeah, I can make that argument. The people that are mad about the Confederate flag, if you were to kill somebody because they're waving around a Confederate flag, then that would not be dissimilar to the Muhammad thing. I think that's right.
Exactly. I mean, we live in a free country. If you want to wave a Nazi flag, go ahead and wave a Nazi flag.
But deal with the consequences. Like, I'm allowed to walk down the street and say, you're a fucking asshole for waving that flag. And that's what it is. Like, people aren't going to like you because of you doing that. If you still want to do it, knock yourself out. If you want the negative attention, knock yourself out. I don't think that they should put that flag up in front of a government building or on a state capitol or something like that. I understand that, because that state capitol is supposed to represent the people, and if people don't feel represented by that fucking flag, then why would they hang the flag up? But for individuals, yeah, it shouldn't be as big of a problem as it's become, and it's ridiculous the amount of attention that's being paid to these flags. It makes no sense.
Yeah. All right, you got it, man. Thanks.
All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh, boy, I mean, that's also the real problem, that people are getting so worked up over these flags that you completely lose focus. And I really think that right now, people get angry over stuff so they don't have to deal with their actual problems. Like, they don't have to deal with real life. People decide to get up in arms about the Confederate flag and hate everyone that has anything to do with it. We need to ban this, and they need to develop these causes to fill their lives so that way they don't have to deal with what's really going on in their lives, as opposed to saying, of course, like just common sense. Do whatever you want to do. You want to be an asshole, be an asshole. You want to offend me, offend me. But let's not put it up at the state capitol. Deal. Okay, let's move on with our lives. Nobody's blowing up a building with a flag. Okay? Ismail in Brooklyn.
Yes, hi, Sam.
How you doing?
I just wanted to say that speaking for Muslims, or at least the ones I know, don't mind as much about the cartoons, etc., but more mind the fat slop staff member Roland, who we all want to die. Painful, horrible death.
Well, please, just don't do anything deadly to him. You know, I love him, so don't hurt him too bad. John in Tennessee, what's going on, John?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
How you doing?
Hey, somebody you want to try to get on the air, and I posted a link to an article about this guy to Norton's Twitter earlier. His name is H.K. Edgerton, if I'm pronouncing that right. He's a black man, former head of the North Carolina NAACP. He is a proud member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, but he is a descendant of a black Confederate soldier. And he was in Asheville after somebody vandalized a statue. He is like, no, this is part of history. It is part of our heritage. We have to remember that fact. And I just think that would be a very unique perspective for you to have on the show that a lot of people aren't doing nationally. I don't know of anybody putting him on nationally as of yet.
All right, well, yeah, we might look into that, because I'm definitely interested in what his opinion is, and the fact that he's a descendant from a black Confederate soldier. Probably not there voluntarily, but maybe, I don't know, I'd have to talk to him. Giovanni in New Jersey, you're on Sam Roberts Show.
What's up, Sam? If I'm hanging a Confederate flag outside my New Jersey house, then it should really, really be considered racist.
Right.
But these are people that, they appreciate their background, and it's not racist.
And that's the other
thing. It would be racist for hanging it right now in front of my house.
Yeah, because it doesn't, the only thing it would symbolize would be that. But, yeah, I wouldn't wave a Confederate flag. I understand why people would be upset by that. That said, I would have a conversation with somebody who had a fucking flag with the Confederate thing on it, and I'd say, hey, this is why people think you're an asshole for waving it, and I'd be willing to hear somebody be like, no, it's just about Southern pride and it's where I come from, and we could agree to disagree and move on like human beings.
Yeah, it's just nothing but a piece of paper.
Right. Everybody gets so worked up over nothing.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
but
man.
What I'm saying is I'm not from the South. I grew up in Jersey, no problem. But I'm not going to hang a Confederate flag. If they want to, it's their prerogative. It's theirs.
Yeah. You can, even if you're doing it because you're racist. If you're doing it to say I am a racist person and I'm going to hang this flag up in front of my house, then do it. You're allowed to be racist in America. It doesn't make you a good person. It makes you a fucking scumbag. But you're allowed to exist as a person. Bill in Mississippi.
Sammy Brand Muffins.
What's going on, pal?
Hey, man, I want to know what you've done about your security. You realize that talking all this common sense is going to get you in trouble, and the zealots are going to be after you.
I don't know. Maybe. Bill, will you have my back?
I got your back, buddy.
All right, I appreciate it. I would hope that people can hear what I'm saying and just realize that people are allowed to be people and you're allowed to disagree. Everybody gets so upset over people who are disagreeing these days. Like you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to be like, well, you know what? He thinks the flag thing is right. I think it's wrong. We disagree on that. But, his mom makes great cookies, so we hang out sometimes. I don't know. Ezra. You're on Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Sam, does it matter if there's perceived malice behind the symbol? Because I think this is similar to the Ten Commandments in the courthouses of the North, in our state capital.
Look, I think it matters if there's a perception of we want to start violence based, like we're waving this symbol because we are trying to start violence, or we're trying to incite a riot, or we're trying to do something like that. If that's what you're trying to do, then that's a problem. But if you are waving a flag and you're doing it for malice, if you're doing it for negative reasons, but it's non-violent, you're allowed to be an asshole.
Yeah, I think we're looking at. People will say we're looking at the history of the country, or this is our heritage, because of Christian principles like the Ten Commandments or the Christmas tree. But they can't say. I think it's the same argument because it's in public and state buildings, but there's no hate behind those. It's just something we've done forever.
Yeah.
And now I guess some perceive it, as hate in the heritage, and because of the Civil War, it's the same argument but different sides.
But this argument, I don't even know why people are having this argument right now. We've had this argument 150 times before. Every couple years, the Confederate flag debate pops up again. I have no idea why. It's not going to get solved. The flag's not getting banned. And eventually there'll be some news story that takes the place of the Confederate flag story, and we'll all forget. And then in 2 or 3 years, everybody will get mad at the flag again because there'll be nothing else to be upset about. Ken in South Carolina.
Hey Sam, what's up?
How you doing?
You're doing good. I'm from South Carolina. I actually have one of the Confederate flags. Flew over the State House and stuff. And, I'd never looked at it as a racist thing at all. And, the fact that I like it and think it's a symbol of, Southern heritage and everything. But that's my opinion. But the fact that so many people do take it offensively, I don't wave it around or have it displaying anywhere.
And I think that's smart. Ken, you understand what your intentions are, but you also understand that reality is somewhere in between intention and perception. And if you're walking around with the best of intentions and you're making people feel a certain way by doing it, then, you can kind of chill out on it, or you can say, I don't give a fuck about how other people feel. I don't mean it that way, so I'm going to be an asshole. It's up to you, but I would fall under your camp that, I don't have a problem with it. I don't see anything wrong with it, but if people are going to get this worked up, I'm not doing it to upset people, so I'll chill out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the groups like the KKK and stuff took that symbol and turned it into something hateful, which sucks, but, you can't change the past, it has been interpreted as a racist symbol, even though that's not what that's not the way we feel it is, or certain people. But, it's like you said, I'm not out to offend anybody or make anybody feel bad or, conjure up any kind of racist feelings or anything like that.
Totally. That's why, thanks, Ken. And that's why I think that you have to be open to talking to people about it and figuring out why they're doing the things they're doing. What's going on, Joe? You're on Sam Roberts' show. You there, Joe? Joe! All right, well, you're gone. Listen, good. I didn't have a lot of time to talk to him because Jackie Cruz is coming in here. If you're watching Orange is the New Black, if you have watched Orange is the New Black, Jackie Cruz plays a character named Flocka. Flocka is one of the Latina women on Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black does a good job with race, I think. They do a good job. They don't make it seem like every ethnicity gets along with every ethnicity. It's a prison show. So the Hispanic chicks hang out with the Hispanic chicks, the black chicks hang out with the black chicks, the white chicks hang out with the white chicks. They do a good job of keeping it honest without, doing it for shocking's sake, So Flocka is a big character this season on Orange is the New Black. I would catch up on it if I were you. I don't think we'll get into any spoilers. We'll see what happens when Sam Roberts' show continues with Jackie Cruz. Don't you dare go anywhere. Welcome back to Sam Roberts' show here on XM 103 Sirius 206 every single day. Furniture adjustments aside, let's welcome Jackie Cruz. What's going on?
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Good. I hope that the fact that the chair doesn't go down enough is does not have you judging my professionalism.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
it's
good.
Fine.
Good.
I
Well,
just wanted to sit like a lady, but I guess this will do.
Well, I won't judge your professionalism
Okay,
either.
thank you.
Yeah, I won't. Let's just start with a clean slate.
All right, awesome. I feel good now.
And we'll be good.
Okay.
Well, welcome. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, I was just on set yesterday. We just started shooting season 4.
Of course, you all know Jackie. She's on Orange is the New Black. Flocka on Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
What is the difference? Because, so you're shooting season 4 now, and you've become a series regular.
Yes.
As opposed to what you were before, which was a recurring character.
Yes.
What's the difference?
I guess before you never know if you're going to get a call to be on the next episode.
Oh, I see.
And this, I feel like they know they're going to use you.
Gotcha.
And and nothing's secure in Hollywood.
Right.
But yeah, I got to kill it every day. So I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be happy for season 4.
Right. It's just a nice thing to call it.
It's
Now
a
they're
nice
saying,
thing.
well,
I got my own chair. I got a chair.
There it is, with your name on it?
Yeah, with my name on
Okay,
it.
so
that's a big deal.
You've made it then.
I made it.
How did you get to Orange is the New Black?
I auditioned like every other actor. I had 2 lines on the show, and I went in there, no makeup on. I gave it my little heart, and said every other word was a bad word. But they believed me, and that's it. I got the part 2 weeks later.
So when you go into an audition, and it's like you said, it's 2 lines, and it's for this small character, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, is there any way to walk out of that audition with any sense of how you did? Like,
well, sometimes they'll be like, "Thank you," and that's it. Or they'll be like, "Wow, that was great, but can you do it like this?" They give you direction.
Right.
Whenever I get direction from a casting director, I know that they like me and they want to see if I could get a direction.
Gotcha.
That's what I feel. Like when they're like, "Okay, thank you," they're like, not interested.
Right. The fact that there wasn't a step 2 means that there's not going to be anything.
Right. So I love it when they give me direction.
And so is that what happened that time? They gave you a little bit of direction?
Yes, but the thing is that Jen Houston, she looks so young. I thought she was like an assistant and she's just holding the camera. And I'm like, thanks. But like, I'm the first person you see. Like, really? You liked it? Like,
yeah.
I didn't believe her, And then she's like, no, it was really good. I was like, okay. She's like, but can you do it like this? And I remember there being one line that didn't get added because I had 3. They cut it to 2. It's like, can I say that?
You can say as
I'm
much
gonna
as
fuck you up tonight, Tasty. I remember that was like my 3rd line that didn't make it.
Did you get into fights growing up?
No, like just recently as an adult.
You've been getting into fights now?
No, I mean, like I worked in nightlife. I was saying earlier today. And, people push you around and I'm in New York now. You gotta have this like hard shell. And
right.
I feel like New York kind of changed me. I have more attitude now.
You have to at least be able to sound like you can defend yourself.
Totally. And I feel like that's what Flocka does in prison because now that we know more about her, I don't think she was like hardcore.
Yeah, was that a big thing? Because the way Orange is the New Black works is, I guess in the very beginning it was kind of centered around one character, but now they've moved past that and started exploring. There's tons of characters on this show.
Totally.
Some big, some small, but what they do now is they have one story going throughout the whole season, but then every episode they're focusing on one character and telling their backstory and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's what's really cool.
I would imagine all of you are sitting there on set.
Like
or when you get your scripts going, when's mine, when's mine,
yeah,
when's mine
for 3 years, when's mine.
Did you think yours was coming?
I don't know. You just don't know. I was like the comic relief. I was happy doing my little, like putting some funny into it. You never know. I was just so happy when I saw it. The day I got that episode, I didn't know. They don't tell you anything.
Were you happy with the backstory once it?
Oh yeah,
started?
It was like so cool. I was surprised.
Yeah, and I think were you surprised too that it is, now that the season's been out for a couple weeks, it's one of the kind of backstories that people are talking about.
Yeah, that's what's really cool about it. I just love that it caught me off guard, so I know that it probably caught everyone else off guard. I was like, what? I don't want to spoil anything, but that was really cool.
Yeah, it's at least done in a way where it's not just a typical criminal charge. She was a bad kid, now she's in jail type of thing. You're going, oh, like there's actually depth in it.
Yeah, there's depth in it, and we got to see more of Flocka's vulnerable side, and she's a good person, and she wanted to be something more than her mom. Not that her mom is something that's not good, but she just didn't want to be like her mom. She wanted to be bigger than her.
When you got this show, actually, I like, and as the character's getting explored, I like that there's this sort of almost dumb optimism about Flocka. Like, whenever anything good happens, she'll accept that as a sign of the universe.
Yeah.
Without even paying attention to the fact that obviously this is not good. Like, obviously everything's going wrong. Like, why would you think? But it's just everything like, no. This was meant to be.
Yeah, and I feel like I connect with her with that.
You do?
Yeah.
So, like, whenever anything good happens, you go, yep, I'm following the right path.
Yeah, and even bad.
Yeah. You're just paying attention to the universe all the time and saying, okay, looking at signs.
Totally.
Yeah.
We definitely have that in common. And our love for music and we have the same taste in men.
You do. Well, it's sort of, whose idea was it to make Flocka not a traditional Latina in terms of musical taste? Like,
great.
Flocka likes emo music and likes the Smiths and...
That's what's really cool, because I know, like me, like I'm more of a bluesy type chick because I sing, but like she's all about the 80s, which I got to learn more about the Smiths, Depeche Mode, and Erasure, all these like really cool bands that I didn't really know before. And I always say Flocka's cooler than me. And a lot of people in California and in New York that are Latin, they're obsessed with Morrissey.
Really?
Yes, it's a thing. They're like in Mexico, like huge.
Really?
Huge. So I love that they're not like, I stereotyped as like Flocka was a chola. Like I thought that's what I was in the beginning.
Right.
And I love that I'm not that. Like I'm emo and like really freaking cool.
It's also interesting that they have like writers that are in tune enough with different, because obviously it's prison, so there's all different ethnicities represented, and they're all kind of clicking. You know, the black girls hang out with the black girls, the Latina girls hang out with the Latina girls. But it's interesting that they have writers that are that in tune with the cultures, that they're not just playing on stereotypes. They're like, no, there is a huge group that like Morrissey.
How do you know that?
Right. I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Neither did I. And I was like, really? And the writers, she was like, yeah, because blah blah blah. And then now I'm getting all these fans that are Mexican. They're like, we love you. We love Morrissey, the Smiths. Yeah, hell yeah. I was like, what? That's so cool.
Do you have to start picking up like Flocka-isms because people would start attaching themselves to this character and associating you with her?
I feel like slowly I'm becoming her, which is awesome.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
You're happy about it.
Yeah. I feel like I was saying earlier that we all have a little something of our character in us.
Mhm.
So like
And then
that's what makes it so real.
And it really, like, I've just been waiting for there to be one unpleasant story about Orange is the New Black, or one person to not like being on the set or not like the show. But everybody's like posting Instagrams, everybody's friends, everybody loves the creativity of it, everybody just likes the show.
It's awesome.
Rare.
Yeah, it is very rare. Our set is so rare because I've worked on other sets and I'm like, whoa. No, this one is like everybody's friendly. Like they set the mood and you have to keep that mood. You know what I mean? That vibe.
Right. So if somebody comes on and has like a bad attitude, they're not going to last.
They're not going to accept it. You have to be like cool, cool to be around because we're going to see you all the time,
Yeah, and it's it's in the prison. So, you're there.
A lot of women too.
A lot of women. You're with the same people all the time. You're not moving.
But the great is that we all connect. We had a potluck last week and we watched our episodes, which is funny, till episode 5. And, we when somebody has a special moment, we're like, oh, that was awesome. That was so good. And we laugh and it was just really cool.
Do you like watching yourself?
I freak out because I do watch myself because I've wanted this my whole life, and I'm like, finally, let me see how I do.
Right.
But I always, think I could have done better or whatever. But that's just me being my worst judge.
And you're going to have a lot of time to do better now that you're I'm trying to get the terminology right, a series regular.
Yeah. Ooh.
With her name on a chair.
Yeah, Flocka on the chair.
You said you were a singer as well, and you were a singer before you were an actress, right?
Yes.
So now that you've got this sort of dream acting gig, is there still a part of you that's like, but it's not singing?
No. I'll always do singing. I could sing in your backyard with you and your family. I don't.
How much?
Whatever, for free.
All right.
I love to sing. I'm singing at my friend's restaurant next Wednesday. I'm not telling the world, but I just love to sing. So it doesn't really matter if I'm a huge star. I just love doing it, and I love writing songs.
I see. And so, and I guess with singing, it's especially where you're at right now, you can just jump on a stage at some restaurant or something and be able to sing. It's not like with acting, you can just do
but
it.
let me tell you something crazy.
Tell me.
I am scared more scared to sing than act. Because when I'm acting, I get to be someone else. And even if I fuck up, can I say that?
You can.
Okay, cool. At least it's not me fucking up. Like, yeah, I'm fucking up, but like it's Flocka fucking up.
Flocka fucked that up. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. Let her take this again.
Right.
But me, if I like I'm showing you my songs, like if you don't like it, like you don't like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're kind of exposing yourself
Yeah, it's so
to a bunch of strangers. Yes. Whereas I guess when you're an actor, I would imagine you're actually building up a wall. You're not exposed. You don't have to expose yourself at all.
Exactly.
Because you're creating this thing.
Exactly.
Ah.
I show a lot of myself too, but like when I act as well, there's a lot of me that comes out in my character, but which makes it real also. But singing is just so scary. Like I have to drink a shot of whiskey before I go on there. Maybe two.
Is that why you don't announce when you're doing it? Like you're just like my friends.
Actually, I'm getting more comfortable now that like I have my acting thing going. I'm like, all right, I could do this.
And you have support. Like you now have built-in support.
Mhm.
So you know they're showing up at least wanting to support you. You'd have to be really bad for them to be like, no, we don't like
exactly.
you anymore.
Now I'm getting more people.
Right.
to go.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you end up being friends with the Kardashians?
Oh, Lord.
You showed up
That was 2009.
So that's not your scene anymore?
No.
Is that
no,
when you were
no.
doing nightlife?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they were big on the scene then too. and-
Yeah. I worked in Miami, and it was just random how that happened, and it was a cool moment.
Mhm.
I enjoyed myself, but back to my real life.
Yeah. There was so like that wasn't a moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to get on this reality show. And
No.
It
That was just something that happened. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll be on camera.
Yeah. Were you really, I read on the internet that you were homeless when you were young for a little while?
I don't want to put it like it was just like 2 weeks. Something crazy.
Okay.
But we slept in the car because I moved out,
Uh-huh.
and my mom's like, "Oh, you want to be an adult? Okay, go be an adult. Wait till you have a daughter. She's from New York." And I'm like, "Okay, Mom." And then I was like, "Mom, can I come home?" Like, because it was tough. She's like, "No."
Really?
Yeah, she told me no, and we had nowhere to live. I was like two.
Who was it? Who's we?
It was me and my roommate. Because she's like, well, she had to come live with us too. So that she's like, no. And I was like,
you and your roommate without a room?
Yeah, we didn't have a room.
Right.
Yeah, we were car mates. So we just for a month we were just going on couches, and then for 2 weeks we lived on in the car, and then I got into a huge car accident, and then my mom felt really guilty that she didn't let me come home.
And then it was okay again.
And then I stayed home till I was 23.
So does having an experience like that, does that remind you that if, worst case scenario, that were to happen to you, you can survive, or does that make you work even harder to be like, I never want to be in a position where I don't know where I'm sleeping?
Yeah, it makes me work really hard because I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah, because you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's just I was really young too. You know what I mean? Anything could have happened to me. Well, something huge did happen to me. I almost died, but with that, my house in the car.
Right, and you lost your house.
I lost my house. But I ended up being fine, and it just made me really strong.
Yeah.
Because I have this lion right here. I got
For strength?
it this year.
That looks
Strength.
great.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it done?
Brooklyn Made Tattoo. His name is Mr. Caves. He just did a huge mural at Coney Island.
It looks really. Did you know who the artist was
Of
before
course.
you got it? Yeah.
He's done this one. He's done a few.
You have a bunch of little tattoos, but that's a
5,
big.
yeah.
Is that something you had to clear with producers before you
I
had
got
it
in
done?
big trouble.
You did.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's not a prison tattoo.
No, it is
The other
not.
ones are little and you could kind of see and pass, but that's
Yeah.
like a
I have to
really
wear
well done
a shirt from here down. If you see season 3, I'm always with long shirt, which is cool because I'm emo. So whatever.
Right.
Even if it's 90 degrees, I'm wearing a freaking long shirt.
You obviously care a lot about fashion. Is
Yes,
that right?
as you can see.
Yes, you have a
With my
hat on
captain
that's
hat.
like a very, very stylish railroad conductor.
Yeah.
So how do you?
I don't know how to drive a train though.
No, but you don't have to. You just
I
have
just
to look good.
like it.
Right. And if you did drive a train, you'd look really good driving a train.
Okay, cool.
Right.
But
So
I feel like it matched my buttons, this hat. So I
it
went
definitely
with
does.
All
It's
right,
got little
cool.
buttons on the side and everything. The
All right,
color
cool.
matches. But
Thank you. Okay, but
I was going to ask, like, you end up on Orange is the New Black, where there's literally no kind of style,
Yeah.
fashion whatsoever. Like there is no, at least on some shows, probably on the sets
Yeah.
you didn't like or whatever, there's probably some kind of wardrobe to bring home
I
or
get to
something.
look pretty. I get blush and stuff.
Right.
This, I just get that liner, and I'm like, can I do a little contouring? I'm like, she's like, no, and I'm like, and then between us,
Yes, between
I
us.
go to the room and I put a little bronzer on because I look like death. I'm
Just
like,
something.
Yeah, and they don't notice. But
They
now,
don't.
now if they're listening, they'll probably get in trouble.
But the eyeliner's famous.
Yes, I'm eyeliner. Like, the girls, they Instagram me with their like Flocka look.
Mhm.
It's like, maybe I'll get like a cool Maybelline eyeliner like deal.
I feel like you should. Did you have any idea
No idea.
the fandemonium that would come with this show? Or would
Nope.
you just go in for an audition? Like I audition for TV shows, that's what I do.
Mhm.
And this is one of them.
Okay.
And that was it?
Yes.
Or did you have, so there was no sort
No.
of, this could be the one?
No. I really thought, because I've done one-liners here and there
Yeah.
in LA, and I just thought it was like, that's it. You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking like, oh, it is prison. Maybe they need me again. But it never really like fit in until they sent me the next like episode. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
a one-liner in that one too.
Yeah. I was so excited.
And then once, I guess it's weird because the distribution's on Netflix, so it's not
Yeah.
like you get to watch this series, get ratings, and kind of pick up and up and up. It's just all in one shot. When
Yeah.
did you realize, how did you realize this thing was a success?
I mean, everybody thought they're like, oh, you got famous overnight, like because of the streaming.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The binge
Because
watching.
yes.
Like from one day to the next, somebody was like, and I was still in the club,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Are you that Flocka from Orange is the New Black?" Literally, like a week after season 1 hit, I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh my god, can I have a picture with you?" I was like, "Of course you can." And then they're like, "Oh, can I get my drink?" And I'm like, "Do you want sugar-free or regular Red Bull?"
Yeah.
But I didn't care because I made it, and I was like, "I don't care. Here's your drink. You want some more champagne?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just really excited.
And that never would have happened on a traditional series because people aren't going to recognize you yet from
No.
one line on one episode.
No,
It's going to be
because they saw you. Like I did 7 episodes. They saw me 7 times
Right.
in one day.
right.
So they like put it together, which is kind of cool.
Is
Very
there
cool.
Is there any strategy whatsoever when doing shows like that? Because I mean, so little of it is actually in your control because there's script writing and directing and editing and blah blah blah. But is there any sort of strategy that you can go in knowing, okay, if I do it this way, they're going to want to use me more? Is it
No.
just do what's on the paper?
Just do. I mean, a little. Like we get to play around a little bit, but like once you get to know your character a little more, but. Honestly, we really read what's on the page and
Yeah.
we make it our own, and they obviously like what we're doing and they're writing for us. So
you go, yes,
yes. I'm so excited. I'm
They
just so
like me.
excited.
Do you watch anything else on?
They like me.
Yeah, yeah.
Game of Thrones.
You're a big Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah. Khaleesi fan.
Yeah, she was up here
So hot.
yesterday.
She was.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
walking around. She was
is
on like she's
she
like
little?
crushes. She's super little. Yeah, she's probably like 5, no taller than 5'2", and she was on hobbling around on crutches for some
Oh,
reason.
what happened?
I don't know. I didn't talk to her.
Something happened in Game of Thrones.
I guess so. Maybe a dragon bit her or something. I don't know. But Game of Thrones is your show.
Yeah, that one. I have so many. My gosh. Well, you know the Breaking Bad
Of
thing.
course.
But I was late to that, so
So you got to binge it.
yeah, I got to binge it.
I
which-
binged on Breaking Bad up until I finally caught up the day of the last episode. So I watched the last episode live, and all the rest of them had been binged.
Can I tell you something? I watched the finale all alone, and I had to like pause it. I was like, "What's happening right now?" And I was like, I needed a drink. I'm like, okay, wait. And I was like, "Did you see? Oh shit, nobody's here. Oh my god. And then like. I'm not gonna watch TV alone again because
Yeah.
I literally almost had a heart attack watching Breaking Bad.
And you
alone.
can't even tweet about it because they're like, yeah, that happened a while back.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know where you...
everybody's like, nobody cares anymore.
Did you see what just happened? It didn't just happen.
Yeah,
it happened months
it's
ago.
happened already.
It's
I was like,
over.
okay. But that was one show, and I was also late to Prison Break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was addicted to Prison Break.
You know what was my only, before I started watching Orange is the New Black, like, religiously, the only other prison show that I watched all the time was Oz.
Oz. I know Dean Winters as well.
Oh, really?
He texted me earlier. He's like, let's catch up during lunch. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. But see, I was watching Oz, and then I heard they're making this female prison show. And I was
And
like,
you're
oh,
like,
boy.
"Aw."
Oh, boy. because Oz was very sexual and violent. But then I was like, oh.
This is also very sexual and violent.
It's sexual and violent, but it's also like, there's a funness about it.
Yes, because Oz was like drama.
And dark.
And
like Oz was
super
like,
dark.
this is a terrible world.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas there's actually still human beings being human beings. Have you
there's
met?
like a lot of shanking. In
Yeah,
Oz.
a lot of shanking. Like, this is the only prison show, I think,
There was
where
a shank in
there was
Orange.
a shank.
A shank.
But not like
yeah.
every episode a couple of
Yeah.
shanks.
I
Like,
want to shank someone.
you do.
I'll put it out there. I want to shank someone.
Put it out in the universe. That's how it works.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do
telling
put
you.
it out there. I'm
Yeah,
with you.
Totally.
I would be worried though, not now because now I know how the show is, but if I signed up to do a prison show, because some of these shows like Oz, Sopranos, shows like that are designed, even Breaking Bad, where characters can just die at any
Oh
moment.
my gosh, tell me about it. I wake up, I have nightmares.
Even
I have
for
nightmares.
Orange?
Of course.
People never die on like one a season.
Yeah,
maybe.
but you can get released. A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
things can happen. Like I'm
Flock is
not
going
okay
to
with
maximum
that.
security, and you're like,
no,
no.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to be good.
Right.
My mom's like, I hope you get 4 more years. I'm like, yeah, me too, Mom.
Well, everybody knows I'm a fan of Orange is the New Black.
Thank you.
Everybody should watch it if you're not already. Of course, it's on Netflix. Everybody knows this, and good luck on season 4. It's one of the few. Not that many shows can get through a third season without you seeing. Okay, this is going to get old.
They're
this is
so
gonna get,
smart.
Yeah,
They're gonna do something like
it's really smart to start a show like this with all these characters that are seemingly like, Flocka. You would never think season 1 had any backstory. She's just
Never.
there for comic relief.
Totally.
And then you start using all these characters to kind of flesh out this show. You got season after season after season
Yeah.
after season worth of people. So everybody check it out. Jackie Cruz, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's great talking
It's
to
a
you.
pleasure.
We'll be back with so much more Sam Roberts Show right after this. Stay tuned. It's getting very, very sensitive in here. Welcome back to Sam Roberts Show. This is terrible. But boy bands can only mean one thing. Oh, this is where it picks up, I guess. You saw on Twitter, there were 2 Jackies coming in here, and only one of them was going to leave. I'm here to tell you something. Jackie Cruz was a great guest, and I would recommend that everybody start watching Orange is the New Black if you're not already. But Jackie Cruz got knocked the fuck out in the hallway because Jackie Miranne walked in here and she said, I heard there was supposed to be a fight. And Jackie Cruz said, I think it was just a joke. And then as she was saying joke, Jackie Miranne punched her in the face and knocked her unconscious. And then Jackie Moran's British friend Annalise kicked her in the forehead. Welcome, Jackie Moran and Annalise.
Why do you think I'm wearing this ring, Sam?
It's bloodstained.
Yeah, I had to hold her back and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was scary. I had no idea you had it in you.
I did. Don't
At
try
the
to
end,
act
I
all
got in
proper
there.
and British. You got in and you kicked her when she was down.
Yeah.
By the way, Annalise, since this is what, your 3rd time on?
Yeah.
Then I think I'm going to be putting you into the co-host Mad Max Battle Royale.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
I'm
but-
organizing...
She could definitely take me. Hold on a minute.
Well, there's going to be
brought her,
one
now
winner.
she's gonna be my enemy?
That's what happens. There's going to be one winner.
Yeah.
I have a lot of women on the show.
Okay.
I like having women come on.
I've seen this.
Good-looking women.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is have them all fight to the death with one survivor, and that
would win.
survivor gets the honor of doing radio with me, Sam Roberts.
What would you do to
Do I-
take out the competition?
Well, first of all, I would dazzle them with the English accent since you guys just seem so mesmerised by it.
But
and
it's a
then
bunch
I
of
would do a
chicks.
shimmy,
It's
and then I'd do a
chicks.
shimmy. If women are,
Yeah, but
are
we're
mesmerised
still
as
mesmerized
well,
by it.
have you not heard? Jackie speaks
I try
English
to
me
talk
every
like her
time
all
I
the
see her.
time.
I guess so. I guess.
Then I would shimmy.
Right.
Shimmy in between them,
Ooh,
and then I
shimmy.
used to be a gymnast, so then I'd do a couple backflips, and
Gymnast?
then
Yeah.
Nachos.
See, I told you, so confused by the English accent. That's
Right.
what I mean. You'd ask all these
Say
questions.
nachos. Right.
Nachos.
And you get all mixed up.
Yep.
And then weapons
flick
of
'em,
death.
and then just flick 'em.
She'd
To
flick
death.
us.
and then fall.
To
And that'd
death.
be it. Yeah, flick 'em to death.
She is wearing blue nail polish. It would be distracting.
Well, Jackie, last time you were here
Yeah.
with Annalise,
Yeah.
Yes.
X-Pac was here.
He
Yes.
was.
And we talked a lot about it. If you didn't hear the show, go to SiriusXM.com/on-demand, and you can find the show there. You can also, by the way, I was telling you about this a couple days ago, but there's a whole bunch of Sam Roberts Show clips that you can get for free. You don't even need a subscription. You can send them to your friends at SoundCloud.com/SR Show SXM on
I've been
Twitter.
listening to those.
You have.
Because I'm cheap and I like free stuff.
Well, that's-
I'm telling you, I will take 6 of anything when it's free. Hence all the empty water bottles.
Yeah, you've just been drinking water for the whole commercial break. I don't
Downing
understand
water. It's really
how
weird.
it happens.
It's really odd.
But I love free stuff. SoundCloud, that's fun. It's
That's
great.
fun. And, of course, if you don't know what Annalise or Jackie Miranne look like, you should be on our Twitter account, SR Show SXM on Twitter. That's at SR Show SXM on Twitter. You can also see photos of Jackie Cruz, who was just in here. Maybe we'll post a photo of Jackie Childs later.
Wow, just
Get all
to
the
throw it
Jackies
in there.
Why not?
But could I tell you, I'll say it to you, but I think I'm going to throw myself in there. We look darn good today. You should look at us.
Whoa.
Today is a good
Don't
day.
you think?
Yeah, but if we could do it without the language. My God,
She
you
said
said
darn.
darn good.
Darn.
Like, I didn't realize we were going to get so extreme in
Where
here
are you
today.
from?
I know it's.
Darn.
I know.
Oh, look at her trying to throw it at me.
I know
Where are
it's
you from?
it's an uncensored channel, but we don't want to abuse it, you know?
Listen, I can't drop the Kanye WHOR.
You can say the word
Word
whore. You can
all
say,
the time,
you
Sam.
can say the word whore. You'd
no,
be okay.
I can't do it.
Tell me this. Speaking of whores, I
Yeah.
gave you an assignment
You did.
last week when X-Pac was in here because you hadn't seen the X-Pac sex tape. I told you, I don't know if you know this, Annalise.
I don't know if I do.
Jackie Miranne has only ever seen softcore Cinemax
What
fake
was the
porn.
word she used for it again? What was it?
I don't know.
Lornos.
Lornos. It's really bad.
Check to confirm with other people that I know, and they know that word.
Well, that's the problem. You hang out with these people that all use
My
words like
grandma
that.
knew it.
Right. I bet your grandma knows
My
it. Your grandma started
kindergarten
a
teacher
couple, I
knew
think.
it. All right, I didn't check in with her, but
Listen,
Mrs. Graham was very nice.
You
Anyway.
you keep inside this circle that allows the sheer absurdity of your life to unfold.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
need to open your horizons, and that's why I bring you here.
Yeah.
It's true.
And that's why
I do
Annalise
feel-
brings you
That's
here.
a polite
Yeah.
way of saying you're going to corrupt her, basically.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
but
That's my point.
I
Corrupt the hell
kind
out
of
of
like
you.
walk out with a smile every time I leave your show. So
Good.
I guess corruption is good.
Right. You know what that is? Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, I like that.
Right. That's when the person starts to relate with their kidnapper.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you know that you're European? Stockholm is kind of somewhere over there,
So
isn't
what I know about kidnapping?
I
What?
yeah,
Sorry?
just because she's Annalise. Are you more well versed in the pornographic arts than your friend?
I mean, I don't think you'd have to be like a crazy sex.
No.
person
Are there
to
like
be-
porno terms that can make me sound like I'm a porno watcher?
I'm not going to let you fake it.
No.
If you're not going to do
Women
the work,
do that all the time, Sam.
not around me. I don't allow it. You've
So
seen.
you
I've definitely seen some pornos. I've seen Paris Hilton's one.
Okay.
I saw Ray J and Kim Kardashian's one.
Okay.
That was
Look at
a
her
lot.
like being like, yes, I've seen this
No,
one.
I have. I
I've
don't.
seen
You need
that
to
one.
educate yourself.
You've never seen Xbox though.
No, I haven't. I'm actually kind of desperate. It's next on my list. This next. on my
Okay,
list.
good.
Yeah.
Wait, but can I tell you what happened with X-Pac?
Well, I was going to say, Jackie,
Okay, what?
it was a simple homework assignment. I
Yeah.
wanted you to go home. I gave you a week. That was last Thursday. Of course, Thursdays with Jackie and Annalise.
Mm-hmm.
It was last Thursday. And I told you I wanted you to watch some adult film so you could, because not only
Be like your peers.
be like your peers, it's a life education. I remember the first time, because, I mean, when I realized that there was hardcore pornography, I was probably like 15, 16 years old.
Right.
But, probably like 15. But I had watched your Lornos, as you call them, the softcore porn, forever. Like, for whatever, it was 3 years or whatever
so
at that
you
point.
did
But
know what they were.
I never called them that.
Oh,
Nobody did.
Yeah.
But,
graduated to damn.
Damn.
thank God. But what I did, what changed me was I got a hardcore porn sex tape and I put it in the VCR and I watched it and I saw insertion for the first time.
Close up?
Yeah. And Jackie, it blew my fucking mind. Like first.
Does that turn you on when it's close up?
Well, now it does because you start to get desensitized and you need to see that.
Because they say like with birthing, you don't want to look at that close up.
No, I'm not watching birthing videos. It's a penis going into a vagina. It's not a baby coming out of
Lady
it.
parts?
Yeah, but it's not the size of a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Size of a
okay.
baby's arm sometimes, but not the size of a baby. But the
true.
first time I watched it, I was like shocked. Like I was like, "Holy shit, what is that?" And
Right.
I almost looked
Like
at
a
it.
birthing video.
Right. First time. That's why I'm telling you.
See?
I almost looked at it biologically. Like I turned off the tape and I had to sit back and I had to process what I had just seen. Now again, I was 15 and still felt like a late bloomer. You're an adult woman.
How did your hair look at 15, by the way?
I kept it short.
You did?
Yeah.
So you had to
He
embrace.
wasn't into the fro.
No, not then.
I like it.
I'm trying to talk about the first time I watched hardcore porn,
Sorry,
Jackie.
sorry.
Nobody cares about my hair right
I
now.
like it.
They're compelled. So then I was like, all right, you know what I got to do? I got to put the tape back on.
Mm-hmm.
And where before that, I had gotten myself to the point where I could go maybe like 5 to 6 minutes by myself before reaching completion. If I'm using completion. I'm trying to keep it classy with you two ladies in here.
You might have to keep it more straightforward with me because I'm going to get lost. Completion.
Okay. That's when.
I got that.
Okay, you know what completion
worried
is?
that I might lose you, but I'm
It's achieving orgasm.
Okay.
Yes.
Just go
by
straight.
myself with my hand.
Okay.
Okay. Watching softcore. I turned the tape back on, the hardcore one back on.
Right.
And once I could process what I was about to see, I was able to achieve completion in under 25 seconds.
No.
It took no time. First time? Yeah, no time at all. Now, here's what happens. Now,
right.
I put on a softcore thing, I might as well put on a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's laughable. There's nothing to it. I will end up chafing before I reach completion. Nothing will happen because that's just, I mean, your mind starts getting exposed to new things. So, but again, it's something you need, it's a place you need to be at as an
but do
adult.
you think that women will get that same satisfaction?
Speaking as a woman.
Speak to us.
Annalise,
Emily.
you're a woman.
She looks all proper, but come on.
Now,
let it out.
I'm going to try my best to keep this classy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would say...
First of all, the fact that you're doing it with that accent already, you could just say,
Already?
well, first you jerk your dick until you come all over, but you do it with that accent.
And it sounds really
sounds
adorable,
way better.
right?
Yeah.
Right, I don't want to get too far into this, but
Me
I
either.
would definitely say that the soft...
Say it slowly. Okay, go on.
The soft...
Sorry, the Lorno...
Yeah.
Don't say that.
...is definitely laughable.
Right.
I would say that completion,
Yes.
even as a woman, can be made in an adequate time, sped up, let's say, with said scenes from said hardcore versions of said
Can you just throw out some numbers in terms of time?
Oh, it depends on the mood. You see, this is women.
It does.
gets complicated.
It does. It's a mind thing.
I
need a story to go along with it.
No, if I'm on it, I'm getting far too.
Tell me. No, tell me.
It was going to get a little bit personal, but I'm not really into a story. I'm not going to.
You don't like a story. You like a scene.
Can I ask you a true question?
Oh, no.
I swear this is true.
Tell me.
Do you have toys?
I have.
Good.
Do?
Good. You should.
I don't.
You're a woman. Every woman should.
I don't.
I also
None.
don't
It
have
was
a
an
boyfriend.
answer on Family Feud, by the way. What does a woman do when she's bored? She grabs for her toys.
That's right. And Steve
And I
Harvey
was,
was probably like,
thinking of-
oh, Lord, I can't believe what you just said.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'm really missing the boat.
You're missing it.
I
But
don't
she
have
has a
toys.
boyfriend.
I only have Lornos.
Yeah, but you know what? She's had a boyfriend for like
12 years.
Yeah, it's like, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no,
there's
I'm
not,
disgusted.
you couldn't
I'm
incorporate.
Another question.
You
I
are,
want to be
aren't you?
educated
I'm
on this.
disgusted.
Should we, do couples, really, do they watch it together?
Yes.
Is that something I should be doing as a good girlfriend?
Yeah, of course.
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
So,
On the odd occasion, not every night.
Not everything. No, it's not just.
that would be weird.
That'd
But
be
it's
weird.
something, hey, let's just try this and see.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what?
How often should we have sex?
12 years.
had
You're
this-
young, though, and you're both good looking. I mean, is it crazy to say 10 times a week?
How many
I would-
times would you say?
Well, let me just put it this way.
Yeah.
There was two married I'm not married. There was me and a married woman.
You might as well be
In my
so
head,
on.
I'm married.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Okay, with a girl that recently started dating somebody, and
Yes.
she's like, "So I had sex every day because I thought you were supposed to." And literally, the married woman was like,
So how often would you say you do? You shouldn't have sex a certain amount of times just because you're
To
supposed
hit the number. Of, it's
that's
not
lame.
about quotas.
That's lame.
No forms.
"It varies.
But
I
average.
would
Give me an average.
Weekly,
Like
yeah,
once a week?
maybe a couple more if we're on vacation. Woo!
That's her getting crazy.
Yeah.
I think every other day, personally.
Wow.
But I haven't got a boyfriend.
Right.
It
Again.
depends on the time of year.
Did you do anything yesterday, Annalise?
I know.
So what are you doing tonight? I've been with my wife for 3 years, but we've been together for 10 years.
Yeah.
You gotta say, 3 times a week is
Really?
That is okay.
Okay, but it depends on the
It's
week.
almost, yeah. You're more of a 4 or 5 girl yourself.
No, I get 4.
Weekend, when you're tired and you're busy.
Yeah.
Listen, here's one thing though. I did hear from a celebrity that you should never say no. I never say no.
Okay, well that's rape.
Well, not to say anybody.
So sometimes it's okay to say no.
I never
think
say
I know who
no
this
to
was.
my man.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, except maybe once in 12 years.
Okay, and then did he do it anyway?
I don't know.
She fell asleep.
Yeah. Listen,
I've been nauseous.
what kind of toys do you use?
Oh,
let's go back to the
we are
toys.
getting
You were
into
just about to say
specifics.
no. You just
I want to get educated on toys.
Yeah. That's
Do you
this is
find
what
any
this
of your wife's toys? Does she have toys?
Yes.
Really? What do they look like?
penises.
That's genius. That is genius. It's not like a little robot with hands.
No, what?
I think where I want to start off is maybe, can I get like a freak number? Like if you were going from like 0 to 10, what's your freak number?
Okay.
And then you can get a good insight into somebody
So like, what's your freak number, Annalise?
I would say that my freak number is not that high.
Okay.
About maybe a 6.
That's
if
still
I'm
not bad.
feeling fancy, maybe an 8. But you know,
8. Okay, so we can get there. That's a solid
we
B.
can get there.
What would mine be, guys?
Okay, you
like a 3.
If that, I wouldn't have even done that. She's like, where do you get toys? I don't understand.
eBay?
Maybe a 2.
Amazon? Yeah. They don't want to be used, definitely. I know that.
No, you can't. I mean, they're cheaper that way. No, of course not. They're not supposed to be used.
Freak number.
For me?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, maybe like a 5. I'm not a freak at all.
Because people can get really, really freaky.
Yeah, that's
Have
the
you
thing.
ever done anything really, really
I don't
freaky?
think so. I'm not really. I think that certain holes are only exit holes.
Okay.
That's
not even. So
I agree with that.
I don't go no.
Not even with your mouth.
Oh.
It's just a question that people ask sometimes.
See, I don't like lingus round the tuchus.
Right. That's
How
that's
good
the,
does that sound?
That's the Latin term for it.
Lingus around the tuchus.
Okay. Well, see, that's. I mean, but that. See, and that's why.
Write a book.
That's why I put myself at a 5 because I hang out with a lot of comedians who are all just debaucherous human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about comedians,
Like
you know,
that
I went
Jim Norton,
to dinner
you know
with
he's a
Jim
freak.
Norton. I went
That's
to
not
dinner
who I
with
was
him the other
talking
night.
about.
Yeah, I did go to dinner with
She
him
went
the
to
other
dinner
night.
with Jim. We're
You
making
went-
love connections,
Yeah.
Sam.
How was your dinner with Jim
It was
Norton?
actually really entertaining.
Was it?
I was a little bit concerned that I'd have to be like on my A game on the wit front, you know, if you're going to see a
Well,
comedian.
not the way you look. You're fine. You
No,
could
wit.
just laugh.
Just laugh. Okay.
Yeah.
You're so funny. Oh my god.
Guys like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really entertaining.
That's why
We
you
had a
guys are
lovely
here.
Dinner.
Exactly.
No, I want to hear though. Like,
So where'd you? What kind of place did you go
Yeah,
to?
we went to Atlantic Grill. He is a bit of a picky eater. The diet of some sort.
I mean, yeah, he's in great shape,
Yeah.
so he's
been doing really well. I was just sitting there stuffing my face with anything I could find, and he was
well,
very
you
particular.
are a curvy girl.
A curvy girl.
And how was the conversation?
Conversation was good.
Yeah.
Witty.
Right.
Back and forth.
No, Lingus took us.
Definitely and utterly no
Took us Lingus.
No Tuckus Lingus.
First date, not yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
Would
I'd
you
call it a date.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just an outing with
It was just
friends.
a dinner with Jim Norton. That's what it was. Why would you say no to that?
Right. It's just he's a great guy.
Yeah,
He's
it
fun
seemed
to hang
like
out
fun.
with.
I'm pretty sure that Sean, my man, would have. Isn't that
Right.
obnoxious? My man.
Horrible.
Would have knocked you out to be in that seat. Like
See?
he's obsessed
Why would
with
you
Jim
turn it
Norton.
down?
Right.
I
Right.
would have knocked
I've
her
had
out to
dinner.
be in that
I've had
seat.
dinner with Jim many times. He's great company.
Did you have any Tuckus Lingus?
I mean, are you talking about recently
do
or
it if
early
he
on?
asked you?
Yeah, I mean, early on, you got to get ahead in this business somehow.
exactly.
You know, there's only
How do you get a daily show?
exactly.
Exactly.
It's not based on talent, and I think you've both figured that out by now. So,
Definitely on the scale of talent, I'm like a 2 probably.
well, I was talking about myself, but
Oh, you're a 10.
I wasn't asking you
You're
to
a 10,
perform.
Sam.
Whatever, things got complicated.
Got so complicated. Where are we?
But so it's just dinner.
It was just dinner.
Are you going to do it again?
I mean, maybe.
I hope so.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you?
Just
I don't
asking.
know why wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you know,
You seem like you're leading somewhere with that, though.
to ask if you're going to. That's a natural question.
No, it is a natural question. It is, but it felt like I felt the
pushing.
subliminal energy under there. There was something else going on.
It's a very
He led
energetic
back
studio.
The body language and everything. There was something else going on.
Annalise, tell me
You're
now.
like a pushy mother that, wants his daughter to date a rich man.
Right. You know, he's a nice boy. Did you didn't show him any of your toys or anything?
No, we didn't get that far.
All right.
How many toys would you say you have?
I don't have that many.
Shouldn't you just have one?
No, you can have a couple.
No,
You could?
Tell me how many you
some are
have.
better than others.
Yeah. Depends on the mood.
What's better?
Right.
Like, what's good?
No, there's only
Some
one.
are battery powered, some are not. Right? You have any battery power?
No, both of mine are but
They just plug into the wall?
No. Batteries. Definitely.
Batteries. Okay. Batteries. So they are battery powered.
Battery
both of them.
powered, both of
one
them.
smaller, maybe mobile.
Yeah, one's cuter.
Right.
One's
Really?
cuter,
Is
yeah.
it pink?
Yeah, it's cute.
I knew it. I just
really
sensed
cute.
it.
Pocket rocket?
No, but
Okay.
it's like little and cute. And
You've never
mobile. Yeah, it's very mobile.
And Jackie, you've never even thought about investing in something like that.
Oh, I like to spend my money on clothes, which might be shocking to you.
Right.
I don't, as we talked about, I
Yeah.
barely even buy socks.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of cheap with my money. So I need a real reason to go out and
But
get
it's
it.
like-
They can bring a lot of joy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than a great dress.
I would put it in the same
Yeah.
I got a
category
great
as-
dress yesterday.
Well-
it made me
Sexy
really
lingerie.
happy, turned on.
It made you turn on
Yeah,
the
'cause
dress.
it had gold glimmer through it. That
Huh.
turns me on.
It does.
It does.
That's because you're still in this mind where I was like, okay, like softcore porn is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like once you actually start
I don't
getting
know if I said it was great. I've seen it.
No, but that's what I said. I mean, when I was younger.
okay.
So once you start actually getting invested in some other stuff that would actually turn you on, the dresses aren't going to cut it anymore.
They're not.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, this dress would look
gonna
good
ruin you.
on the side of my bed. You know? That's where you're going to be.
Paul, do you have sex toys?
Of course he does.
Of course
They're
he
inside
does.
of him
He's
right
such a-
now.
Right now.
Yeah, that's how he deals with me yelling
ever
at him.
Slept with a blow-up doll?
Paul?
He just
I
looks
think
like
he's-
the type that might have.
I think he sleeps with a blow-up doll. Like,
All the
that's what
time.
he does.
Oh, just naturally.
My girlfriend's over right now. Don't knock on the door. So
Put a sign up on the door.
did you do your homework? Did you watch adult film?
Okay, I have to tell you this.
Yeah.
This is the closest that I got, but I did try and do my homework for you, Sam. At Fish in the West Village. It's like a restaurant with a lot of fish.
I thought
Great.
it was either that or a lesbian club.
Exactly.
Go on.
It's really good, by the way. Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay, well, at the table, I was telling my brother and his girlfriend about sex tapes, and we talked about Xbox.
Okay.
And guess what? He
What?
brought it up at the table.
He showed it
on
to you.
his phone.
You saw it.
Did you
I
see
saw
it?
maybe a glimpse from a distance across the
closed her
table.
eyes.
But you didn't want to look close up.
Oh, I didn't want to look close up because
No.
I know him. I'm invested in him now.
That's even more reason. That's curiosity. That's
what
like
I think.
immediately. Like I'm like, this dude is a friend of mine. I gotta see what this tape looks like.
Yeah, but he said he knows when people have seen it, so I didn't want to get caught.
No,
I think I was worried.
maybe you got worried.
I had to look away.
You gotta get past that.
I don't like doing things wrong in life, and I was nervous that I'd do something wrong.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
In terms of you and no toys and not watching porn, you're doing something wrong. It's very, very wrong.
I'm a weirdo.
And it's behavior that needs to be corrected, quite
Okay.
frankly.
All right, Sam, I'll do it for you. I'll go
Thank you,
home
thank
and
you.
I'll put it on. And
Yes.
I actually like watching things on my phone better lately.
Which-
So I'm going to hand hold it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it right now?
You know what you could do?
What could I do?
Go into, like at work, go into a bathroom stall with your phone, turn the sound off, you watch it there, you get the job done, you come back to work much more, less
Technically,
tense.
this could be considered work.
Yeah,
So I know there is a bathroom around the corner.
right.
Should we experiment?
Do you want, here, let me see your phone. Let me see. Unlock.
quality
is it
gonna be
locked?
good enough?
Yeah, it's
Unlock it.
locked.
Unlock it. Let's see. Let's just see if we can gauge a reaction here. I'm just gonna.
I'm intrigued.
What do you
I really
expect
wanna
me
see
to
it.
do?
I don't know. I mean,
We're
but
just going to find out?
yeah, you need to
Okay.
be educated on this stuff. You've
You're
never.
going to educate me right here.
You've never seen hardcore porn before.
I'm sweating. Don't sweat.
Okay, this is where we'll start then. Let's see if this works or I give your phone a virus. Either way, it'll be fine for
You
me.
know, I watch illegal movie websites. Oops, sorry, just
Okay.
kidding.
Uh,
But I actually watch movies. Like, I watch Pitch Perfect too.
On your phone?
On my phone, yeah.
I want to see. Oh!
what are we thinking? Is it too much?
That felt like a birthing video. Oh my God, there's a lot of people in this.
Yeah,
She
no.
looks like she's being tortured. They're fish hooking her. They're fish hooking her right now. She's in pain.
Every hole is filled. Every hole. Oh my God.
Ew! What do you expect me to do with this information?
I thought I could handle that.
She's being choked.
A lot.
She's getting she's being choked, and there's
It's like a car crash, though. I can't take my eyes off
ew.
it. Oh my God.
It's so
oh my God.
gross.
All right, maybe.
You showed me a bad
All right,
one.
well, I'm glad that that was called.
That was gross.
That was called gangbang audition.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Well, then we live
She
and learn.
passed. I think she got the job.
But Jackie, I'm going to close this out on your phone so it doesn't pop up.
You know, seriously.
It's going to come up in our
Look at
history
that.
now.
Much safer. Perez Hilton. There you go.
See, I read Perez Hilton before I got here. But
prepare.
little did I know that
Yeah.
we were going to watch gangbanging instead, Sam.
Well, there you have it. Jackie Moran's first gangbang.
Wow.
Here,
That was so
live
gross.
on Sam Roberts Show.
You expect me to get off to something like that?
Well, maybe
No,
I
that
did
was-
skip a few steps.
Definitely, he skipped.
We need romance.
Okay, I am not a subtle person.
There were no candles lit in the background. There were no rose petals.
There were a lot of
I
dicks, though.
expected more like a bachelor's
A lot of dicks. What'd you say?
From just watching a quick.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
What are you saying, Paul?
He said you learned a lot. Like, I wanted to just spend like 10 seconds and give you a lifetime of education. And that's what just happened.
I feel educated.
But I'll tell you this, next time you turn on that softcore bullshit, you're going to be like, what is this?
What is this? What are they doing?
I still have to graduate to that. I guess that was what it was similar to when you first watched Insertion.
Exactly.
I'm not 15.
Can I ask a question? Does it get worse than that?
Oh, yeah. You want to?
No.
You don't believe me?
But I just thought that to me was 10. That was 10.
That was on the freak scale. That was
Yeah.
a 10 to us.
Yeah, that's why I gave
Thank
myself
God
a
you're
5.
with me
Maybe you
on
need to
that.
bring your number down.
I need to bring my number way down. I think
Yeah.
I might be a what?
I've non-sexualized you.
Yeah.
That was so gross.
Oh.
It was a lot.
I can't eat now.
I'm
I
like-
was hungry. I'm not hungry anymore.
I was going to go to break, but 866-969-1969 is the phone number.
Is it my buddy calling in?
Lady Trucker wants to talk to Jackie and Annalise. What's going on, Lady Trucker?
Hey.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
You know, there's 3 essential toys that every woman should have for
Oh.
a sex toy.
Thank you. Okay, let's hear it.
From Lady Trucker?
Hey, Sam. I have orgasms too, okay?
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
Yes, I like it.
Go
I wanna
on,
be
Lady
educated.
Trucker.
Tell us.
Ugh.
Okay, the first common toy is the dildo or / vibrator.
And does that
I
have
categorize
batteries?
that together.
Well, that doesn't vibrate. No, you could shake it really quick with your hand.
The second thing you need to get would be a bullet. That's a little toy for your
A little
support.
vibrator.
You know about that one.
It's not the
Annalise.
thing I make
I know that
smoothies
one.
with then.
No.
Okay.
Not a neutral bullet.
Okay, just checking.
Right. But I did, when I saw a
Alright,
big box that
and
said
then-
magic bullet on it, I said, is this for, juicing.
Yeah.
Okay, the bullet.
All right, now, and if you're afraid to have toys around the house and stuff, you could also use a electric toothbrush instead of a bullet.
Oh, Lady Trucker, you are revolting. Goodbye,
I love
Lady
you,
Trucker.
Lady Trucker.
You are
It's useful.
disgusting.
She's open with her sexuality.
She's a-
I think that's amazing.
She's a giant woman who masturbates with a toothbrush.
Good for
It's
her.
gross.
I wonder if it's the spin brush. Lady Trucker, is it the spin brush?
I've hung
Tell
up
us.
on her. She grossed me out.
I know, but I want her to tell us on Twitter. That's
right.
how we talk, Sam.
Lady Trucker, you tweet Jackie Moran and Annalise.
Is it the spin brush?
There's a whole bunch of calls calling up, and everybody's just calling up trying to suggest videos, and I can't do this all day.
I could do it, except I
So,
don't want to watch them.
no,
I
you
just
don't.
want to hear the names.
That's the problem.
I wonder what the best name is out there.
Oh my! There's
Someone tell us.
Gangbang auditions.
That was pretty good.
I'm going to take a quick break.
Fine.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Okay.
We'll probably not talk about you two masturbating when I get back, but I can't make any promises.
Can't.
We'll see what happens.
It's a bathroom
It's a
break.
crazy
You never know
show.
what's going to happen.
You know, Nicole told me that you were too, innocent to do the show. Wait till she finds out. We'll be right back with more Sam Roberts Show with Jackie and Annalise. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sam Roberts Show. Jackie's dancing.
Really good.
Annalise is having a cigarette. They've been through a lot.
I just stayed at a Luna bar. I was so stressed.
Yeah.
It was quite stressful, that.
It's been quite a show. If you've missed any of it, you're going to have to listen on demand at SiriusXM.com/on demand. Maybe we'll find a clip from there to throw on the
Yeah, I'm sure you will, Sam.
SoundCloud.com/SRShowSXM. And if you want to see a photo of the two girls that you just heard reacting to a gangbang, I don't know. If that doesn't get followers, I don't know what will. Go to twitter.com/
Not ready for that.
SRShowSXM. That's at SRShowSXM on Twitter. Man, oh man. So it's the,
We just need to exhale.
Yeah. Yoga, maybe.
maybe. Let's go to Frank.
We're calm now.
Frank, you're on Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Sam, how are you, buddy?
Good, buddy.
pretty young thing. Did Uncle Paulie pick out that song?
Well, I will tell you this. It's the death anniversary of Michael Jackson
I don't know
today.
if you can call it an anniversary, really.
What would you call it?
Like a memorial or a sin or a something? There's
It's the
some other
anniversary of his
word.
death.
Anniversaries of deaths. That doesn't sound right.
You could say it's the
I talk
anniversary.
about death all the time, don't I, Sam?
We're not here to talk about death. We're here to talk about Michael Jackson.
That's right.
PYT.
And I'm going to do my dorky dancing.
Everybody
Is
feels
this better
better.
than Nicole Ryan's moves?
I mean, both of you are very, very bad dancers.
Okay.
yeah.
I heard at her wedding some really bad dancing went down,
What's that supposed
but
to
in
mean?
a good way.
What's that supposed to
I
mean?
heard you did some interesting things.
Look, I don't know what Nicole tells you, and quite frankly,
I had margaritas with her last
you
night.
two shouldn't be hanging out socially. I try to keep you all separated.
Well, I definitely shouldn't be hanging out with her because she drinks a lot more margaritas than I do.
Nicole, and you caught Nicole light. You caught Nicole post-children.
That's right.
Pre-children, girl liked to have a good time, and she still
Wouldn't
does.
have been able to handle it.
But I think you can call it the anniversary of his death. And I mean, I just
I'll never forget where I was.
Where were you?
In Murray Hill, New York City,
Yeah.
outside of an Indian food restaurant.
Why were you outside?
But I didn't eat there. I was just standing there.
So you remember the restaurant you were outside of, even though you weren't going in?
Correct.
Wow, that really did traumatize
Because it has
you.
a distinct smell.
And she was probably doing a style snap.
I
Probably.
wasn't. Yeah.
6 years
doing
ago.
Style snaps then.
6 years ago, yeah. I was, I had a radio show on this channel that was pre-recorded for an hour every Saturday at midnight.
Wow.
That's how far I've come. So it was, I think it was like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and we heard the news as it happened on the TVs in the studio. We saw it, and so we reported on it as if it was breaking news, and then the show aired 4 days later. As if everybody...
That worked out well.
as if it was new at all. But I really I can't believe the more I think about Michael Jackson, the more it seems like if you can write catchy songs, not just one, but catchy songs, you can be forgiven for anything. I think music is the ultimate sort of, but did you hear that song?
Yeah.
It doesn't
It's like
work.
the Get Out Jail Free card.
Yes.
Good track.
It does, even Chris Brown, he's still doing singles. Michael
I don't
Jackson.
understand that. I
They're
really
so catchy,
don't.
though. You see that wedding video? Everybody was dancing and having a good time. So much fun. It was contagious.
You know, he's one of the few people that I can't get back on his music, and I was a huge Chris Brown
But you can't do it.
I can't.
But you're okay with Michael Jackson and the kids?
I am.
The
songs are good. They stand the test of time.
And I guess that is the difference, that he never was in a court of law proven.
You
Rihanna.
still want to have the hope, that little ounce of hope.
Yeah, I mean, even though he went on his documentary and said, no, of course I share my bed with kids.
I think
And
he
you're
did.
going,
I think he was a little... I think he had issues.
He was a little off.
I would like to... This is my theory.
Yeah.
I think he definitely slept with the children in his bed.
Literally.
Literally.
Go on.
Literally.
Right.
Now I'm putting 10 million syllables
Look,
in
we're
it.
here to talk about the King of Pop.
Yeah, but I would also like to... Oh, stroking me there,
Your
darling.
skin is really soft. I didn't expect that.
She's all revved up after that last segment.
Yeah, don't turn me on, honey.
But anyway.
I'm not stopping it.
But I don't think he actually touched. This is where I want to go.
You don't think he touched any baby penis?
I would like to. I mean, I understand how stupid I sound.
Yeah.
No, but I believe that too.
But I just.
Yeah, but that's only because he did PYT.
I think he thought he was a kid.
Right.
I do
He
agree
was
with that.
Just there with them, like buddy. Oh, that just sounds naive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Even as I say it out loud, I'm like.
That does. I mean, it comes across with a bit of naivete.
Naivete, if you will.
Naivety.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know about
Except on
that.
the last 8.
But because no other art form. Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
He got in trouble, and he can still make movies, but he can't come back in the United States. And there's still that thing of, even when he makes a movie, there's a group of people that are like, yeah, but he touched a kid. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, on the other end, you got Michael Jackson, who you go through Twitter today as people are remembering
how
him.
awesome he is, yeah.
And it's all just like, yo, what's your favorite song? Now, this is the difference for me. This is why I feel okay with myself, because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, but only Little Michael.
Oh.
And Little Michael...
Rockin' Robin.
Definitely. That's it. That's Little Michael definitely didn't touch any kids.
No.
I don't even think he touched any kids when he was singing Ben to that rat. After that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The jury's out on that one, so I will celebrate Michael Jackson's entire catalog until Ben.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Ben and earlier, I'm good with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like a catchy tune, Sam.
Well, somebody likes you, Jackie, because Damon is on the phone. Damon, you're on Sam Roberts Show. Jackie Miranne is here. Annalise is here. And I would give you their Twitter names, but are you the gentleman who was tweeting about calling Jackie last week and doing all that?
Yes, Sam. Damn, it's about time you took my call. You too big time now.
Well, what was it that you wanted? I mean, literally, I try to do radio here on the show, and literally, you've been calling the last 2 weeks and just saying, I want to talk to my girl, Jackie.
Thanks, I
No,
appreciate
didn't.
it.
You know, the truth is, I was the dude. I called, I don't know, maybe it was the first time you had her on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was hitting on her afterwards like a total asshole because I had no idea she had a boyfriend, and I sent her I was a Playgirl cover model, and I sent her my pics. And then I was like, oh, shit.
Naked picture?
Were your bits out?
At one time.
Wait, he sent you a photo?
They were just my covers from back in the day.
Jackie, did he send
Did you send those to me on the Twitter?
No, I just put like my the covers up there.
Oh.
So you mentioned her on Twitter and put your Playgirl covers?
Yeah, that's how I roll, Sammy.
I like it.
He's trying to get your attention.
I appreciate
And
it.
Jackie, you didn't notice?
Well, I don't know if I blocked out the covers, but you know what? Let me just.
No, I took them down. When I heard you had a boyfriend, I took them down. And I was
That's
like,
very respectful.
Oh.
You know
But
what?
now you know she's into watching gangbang videos.
Yeah, I just heard that. That was real nice, Sammy.
Damon, do you have a crush on Jackie?
You know what? I would, but I don't like girls with boyfriends. However, yeah.
He's got boundaries.
So, Jackie, what do you think? You've met Damon now.
Yeah, I'm
Do you
glad-
think
I'm
there's a
glad we're
chance that
talking.
you would end your relationship and maybe go on a date with Damon? Do you think we could do that?
You know, it's been a long 12 years, Damon. But if you keep tweeting, I'll think about it.
Oh my God.
I don't even like saying the word tweet. But
Yeah, it's not. I agree. I'm an Instagrammer personally.
All right, Damon.
But you know what?
We'll,
I appreciate the fact that you're supporting this show and that you're
Yes.
a fan of Jackie Miranne.
Yes. Aren't we all?
Look, I will promote the hell out of you guys.
Do it.
All right, Damon,
Do it.
I very much appreciate you being on this planet and you calling in.
Sam, you're the man, dude. You're doing a great job.
You're a great, great person,
Man,
Damon.
I agree
Thank
with
you
you
so
on
much.
that.
Thank
if
you
there's
so
one
much.
thing we could take away from that call, you're the man, Sam.
Yeah, I agree, and that's probably the last thing on the list we could take away from that call. But Paul, I hope you're ready with your bit.
What bit
See?
you got?
This is why I wasn't even gonna give you a warning this time because it's the third day in a row. So you know what I'm gonna do?
Uh-oh.
No, we're doing it. We're fucking doing it. So you better asterisk some shit and do it within 30 seconds because this is radio and it's timing
I'm going to be nice to Paul because you yell at him.
I know.
because he doesn't learn. And he doesn't. And
He
he,
looks so innocent.
he's. Don't look up. Look at see what I'm talking about. The minute you start being nice to him, he looks
Is he
up
always like this, or is it just when we're here?
I mean, he's always a little aloof, to tell you the truth,
Aloof. I love
and he's
that
completely emotionless.
Oh my god!
Like that's that sort of blow up doll vibe that you had for him. He's completely.
That's what it was.
It was
So-
a blow up doll.
So much stuff happens on this show every day.
It does.
And it's only a 2-hour show, and it flies by. And I always think to myself, did we even do anything on today's show? Like, what happened just now? And I think, like, there was so much more I should have covered. But that's why I have Paul come in. He takes vigorous notes throughout the entire show.
He is writing vigorously.
Very vigorously.
And he highlights those notes, and he gives me a list of what happened on today's show. So, Paul, I'd like you to take Annalise's mic, since we only have the three or whatever.
Offended.
I know. I'm sorry. I need to get that accent off the air, though. And with that, we go over today's list.
You do not take bananas as callers. Sam went over his first porno. Jackie saw her first gangbang. We went over freak numbers. Lady Trucker could use as a electric toothbrush.
Uh-huh.
And a good song could be a get out free card.
Those notes.
That
are
was
not
the list.
very
There it is. Mr. Electricity, Paul. And the list. I'm going to tell you something, Jackie. He's not going to forget to make that list tomorrow.
Oh, I'm
Because of
sure
that.
he won't. I'm
Because
sure
of that.
he won't.
Then you know why? Because I wasn't nice.
He learned a little something.
He learned a little
Tough
something.
love.
Jackie, where can they find you on Twitter and everything?
Jackie Miranne on all. That's MIRANNE.
And Annalise.
Don't sing.
Do it for Sam.
All right, it's Annalise Days on everything as well. ANNALIESEDAYES. I see why you make a song now.
Yeah.
I need to make a song for mine. It's a lot of letters.
Make sure you follow Jackie and Annalise on social media. If you didn't catch how to spell their names through those songs, we will have their Twitter addresses up on @SRShowSXM on Twitter. That's SRShowSXM.
There you go. He's
on
learning.
Twitter. And I appreciate you guys being here with me for your first gangbang.
That was really special.
We also
scarring, but special.
Appreciate Jackie Cruz. Remember, she was here too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I love her.
And going over the Confederate flag and everything. See, I did the list better than you just now. Just off the top of my head. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again, ladies.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
My freak number's definitely lower.